What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today what we're going to go through is keyword research and SEO. I can't even talk. Keyword research and SEO. All right, so there's many different techniques that you may have come across on the internet of people and how they go about doing keyword research for their blog, be it or a niche website. But specifically the way I do it has evolved over time, and it's not the same way that I used to even teach on this YouTube channel. So, you know, there are different techniques in regards to using tools, and then you've also got different techniques of doing a manual search. Now, what a manual search is if you were to head over to Google's website itself and then do a search for a particular topic. Doing a manual search would essentially be going through the data that Google throws up at you as a potential result. Now, there's a lot that you can gather from that. One being because you may have heard about, you know, this E.A.T in Google recently, yeah? And what that stands for is expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. So you may have heard also about your money, your life, and what that is to summarize everything that's happening with Google and where they're headed in this current climate. For Google, for example, if you had a site that was based around, you know, Medicare, something to do with medical related information, well, what Google would want is not to serve up, you know, your little blog from down the road to someone if they're looking for some kind of health related information. Let's say, for example, someone, you know, cut their head open and they needed to get access to very important and vital information. Google wouldn't want to make the mistake of serving up the wrong piece of content to that user or searcher in error, you know, in that sense. Okay, so if we're going to talk about like going into different niches, the niche that you select now is going to make a lot of difference in regards to, you know, how successful you can potentially be within a given topic. So I personally stay away from any of those your money, your life kind of niches. I am currently in one of them, but you can find the kind of small gaps of how you can narrow down and dominate like a small area of the niche, opposed to trying to go on a broad scale. Of course, when you build up some authority, then that's something you can potentially look at. Now, in regards to keyword research and how this ties into it, is because when you're doing your keyword research, you need to be focused on intent, and this is the strategy that I'm using in 2020. So opposed to going for the keyword itself and based on, you know, for example, search volume and all these different metrics that we would currently use, I now focus it on intent. So what I used to do was go and look at other sites and how they're actually structuring their content, which is still very important to get the general gist of where you need to be, or what, you know, where they are, and gauge what's out there in that sense. But what I do now is I go and use all of the related searches that you'll probably find at the bottom of any search that you make, and then all of the suggested questions that people are also relatively asking after they follow up, after they make the search, so the ones that they follow up with. And what I use that to do is to get me the idea of the intent of the reader. Now, once you can understand the intent, then you can better solve the problem. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through a few different examples so you can see exactly how to do keyword research doing a manual search. Now, wherever you get the keywords from, that's totally up to you. There's many different sites you can use. Of course, one of them being answerthepublic.com. You can use the keyword research tool that I recommend, which is keysearch.co. It's a very reasonable price tool. I still currently do use that tool. And then there's other sites like Neil Patel's site and so on and so forth. So there's many different, you know, and that's Ubersuggest, by the way. There's many different tools that you can use, but ultimately whenever you use that tool, you still need to go back to Google and complete this manual process that I'm going to show you today. So without further ado, let's get onto the computer. Example of this that I just found was using solar panels, because it's something quite random and it's something that you're probably just not going to be in as a niche right now. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is, the first thing I'll do is we're going to go and extract the keyword or the topic, you know, or a selection of keywords from somewhere. Okay, so what we're going to do is just say, for example, we type solar panel into this website, which is answerthepublic.com. Now you can use this, or you can use a keyword search tool, it doesn't really matter. Now in regards to keyword search volume, it's relatively important. Yes, it is, because of how much traffic you want to potentially get to your site, but don't don't use it as a holy grail because they're all based on estimates. So all of the keyword research tools that you're using, there's not one that's going to give you the exact amount of times that something's going to be searched. So this is why you would find like income score that give the information of not using tools, because essentially you don't really have to, like in that sense. Okay, so you can still do keyword research. I could go and just kind of use my common sense and think, okay, does this look like something that would be potentially searched quite a lot? And then if it sounds like a question commonly asked, then probably it is. You know, sometimes you get keyword research tools that will tell you like it gets searched 50 times a month. You go and rank for it, and then you get like 1,000 searches a month from it, and it could be one of your highest yielding keywords. So don't use it as a holy grail, because it can send you off the road in that sense, and cause you to potentially miss out on some good opportunities. Okay, so if we were to look at solar panels, we're just going to look and see, can solar panels work without a battery? Can solar panels charge battery directly? Can solar panel overcharge battery? All of these different things. Okay, so this is like a question kind of keyword. Now usually, you know, if you want to talk about what kind of word count I would do for this, I would probably do about 1,500 words, because it's a very simple question. You want to directly answer it, and within the first or second paragraph, I'm going to directly answer this specific question and then elaborate on that throughout the rest of the article. So if I go and do some research here, and I were to paste this keyword into here, you can see these other things that obviously Google suggests. Now, for example, if this was getting searched and you say, okay, this is a relatively, you know, good common question someone would ask, you might go here and then you see this, and then it's asking a specific question like, can a 5-watt solar panel overcharge a battery? This is going to get searched a lot less than this one. Okay, and you don't need a keyword research tool to tell you that, because this is about a specific type of solar panel which is only pushing out 5 watts, and this one is more generic, just asking for solar panels in general. Okay, so if we were to search this, what you want to do in the manual search is you want to start looking at this kind of information. Now what's interesting is a lot of people, if you were to plug this into a keyword research tool, it might tell you that it's relatively competitive. Now looking at this keyword, I would 100% go for it, because there's a forum right at the top. Forums are the lowest quality of content that you'll find on the internet, particularly on search engines, and if you see a bunch of forums popping up, then chances are it's going to be a relatively easy keyword for you to rank for. This is why you need to come to these results in order to find this information. So when you come to the bottom of the page, you can also see that there's obviously different sizes of batteries and different things that people are asking. So what this would give me an indication to do within the article is to make the article answering the question and then going through different sizes of solar panels and different watts of solar panels that will potentially cause a battery to overcharge, or ones that will not cause it to overcharge. So I would potentially put in like a kind of table giving all the different voltages and then all the different answers of whether it overcharges or not, like maybe just putting overcharges the topic heading, and then putting inside of each of the boxes next to like 50 watts, 100 watts, whatever it is, and putting yes, no, whether it overcharges or not. And this is a basic way that you could potentially outrank a lot of your competition. Now one of the other things I'm going to look at is obviously what other questions people are asking, because this will give me a good indicator as to whether I should go for it or what information I need to be covering within the article. Okay, so I can see how many solar panels does it take to charge a 12-watt battery. Can you overcharge a 12-watt battery? 12-volt battery, sorry. Can you overcharge a leisure battery? So maybe you need to go through different types of batteries throughout this article. How many solar panels does it take to produce 1 kilowatts? Okay, so there's many different questions that you can see, and what you want to do is take the most closely related questions here and incorporate them into your article. Maybe not exactly the same, but like just those topics as subheadings. Okay, then we can see here that there's quite a lot of videos. Okay, so people might be looking on how to charge the battery battery, or look, 100 amp battery connected to blah blah blah. Now when I see this kind of information, it tells me that people might be looking for a video on this particular topic, which is why Google are trying to suggest it here as a potential alternative. You can see here that people obviously are looking to buy these solar panels because there are advertisers running adverts on this particular keyword. Okay, so what you could do within your article to make some affiliate commissions is then go on to talk about, here's a list of different solar panels that do not overcharge batteries or whatever it may be. So this is how you could potentially rope in a very simple informational based keyword and potentially profit from it through taking the reader through the correct experience of what they're looking for. And this ultimately all comes down to the intent and whether you're solving the problem that the person is searching to solve in that sense. Okay, so if we come down, you can see the forum there. This looks like another forum, so let's open this. I would open most of these and take a look. You can see here this is like battery stuff. This looks like a very authoritative website, but not nothing that I couldn't outrank. The other thing what we're trying to understand from the intent is whether or not these top sites, or whether they're authoritative sites or not, are answering the question correctly, because it's, can solar panels overcharge batteries? Yeah, okay, so let's have a look. So you can see here this is like a forum kind of thing again. So this is like, it looked like an authoritative site, which it appears to be, but it's a forum. Okay, so that's a forum. This one again, this is decent quality, so this is okay, but it's like not that great. I mean, you could outrank this with some good content. And let's see if they're answering the question, the lowdown and everything up and high, blah blah blah. Like, so straight away, one of the things that I'm not happy about with this site here, and why I believe I'd outrank it straight away, is it doesn't tell you whether or not they're gonna be telling you if a battery charges, if a solar panel overcharges a battery or not. So you need to be clear on exactly what the reader is going to get right off the bat, so they kind of, because usually someone like me would bounce off of this article because it's not giving me a clear indication that I'm going to get the answer within this content. Okay, then this one again, this is a forum, so this is like a brilliant keyword, and honestly this was not preempted or anything like that. This is just the first keyword that I pulled out randomly after searching that inside of with this tool. Okay, so that is a perfect example of a keyword that I would 100% go for. Now many of you may say, okay, but you don't know the search, and does that really matter? I mean, if it's a question that's relatively good, like it's being asked, then why do you need to go and do that? Because it's probably getting searched quite a lot. But if you do want to check it in a keyword search tool, then let's just take a look and see what happens here. Let's take a look at this, and we'll see what kind of keywords pop up from this particular search. Okay, sorry, what kind of volume pops up, sorry. Okay, so you can see it's getting 10 searches a month. This tool's even saying it's relatively easy to go for, and then you've got obviously all the forums here. But where the tools can throw you off is because they're all telling you these high DAs, but these are DAs of forums. Okay, so you might look at this and think, oh my god, authoritative site, authoritative site. You might even see a bunch of backlinks, but it might be from a very poor, low quality piece of content that you could easily outrank with no backlinks or anything, you know. So it's always important that even if you find a key word and you come over to something like this and you find like this, or you find like this or whatever, that you then obviously come and drum it in to the manual search. Okay, so that's doing a manual search, and that's the most important way I believe you can rank. Okay, you want to incorporate all these things usually, like, you know, how to use a solar panel to charge a battery, because if someone's worrying about it overcharging, they probably don't know how to charge it as well. How many watts solar panel to charge a sleep deep cycle or whatever. So all of that is definitely very important. So this gives you a lot of information down here. But one of the good things about this tool that I use, which I still currently do use from time to time and whatever else, I still got a subscription with them because it tracks my keywords for my sites and whatever else. But you can see here search engine ranking suggestions. So all the ones that I were finding down here, that actually pulls into the bottom of this tool down here. Okay, so you can see all of that. Now when we actually go up, you can see the average trend of the keyword, which is based on historic data, so that gives you that information. You can see obviously the other words that are, you know, that the other sites that are ranking within it. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's the same word that's showing up right now. This is something else, isn't it? Okay, so you can see the relative trend though. If it was this is like, I don't know, mediocre maybe. And then we can see other keywords that are also closely related. Okay, but what's good about this tool is when you do your keyword research, you can filter. So we could filter by volume, by number of words. If we wanted 6 or more words and we wanted a long tail keyword, then you could do that. Okay, and you can sort by volume, and then this will give you like the lowest searched ones to the highest searched. Or we could say that we want the word to have how. We want a how-to keyword inside of it. It must have the word how inside of the word. And then here you can see these are all the ones with how, and then you can sort by volume again. How long to charge a battery? How long does it take? Or we could do like the word can I blah blah blah, you know, this and that. So you can see this, you could uncheck that, and that's probably going to be a low competition keyword. As you can see, this is like dirt easy to rank for because it's 18. When it's light blue like that, it means it's super easy. It takes no backlinks or anything. And you can see that's 390 searches a month, and it's a very specific question. What can a 300 watt solar panel run? Okay, so that's a perfect keyword for anyone in the solar panel niche. Now what's interesting is once you take this tool, this keyword, you can go over to more tools, content assistant, and then we can plug it into the tool. So let's just plug that into there. And then what we can do is it's going to bring up the average first page word count. Okay, so that's quite interesting. It hasn't brought it up just there. Let's just try that again. Doesn't usually do this. And if it doesn't work, I'll just show you a different example of a different keyword. Okay, so we'll just try something else. I'm not sure why it's not working there. Let's just try it with a different keyword, see what happens. And this is the way I do my keyword research. I don't usually use the tool anymore, but if you go and watch some of my old keyword research videos, then you'll be able to see obviously the techniques that I was using, which is very similar to this. So this is not currently working. I'm not sure why. There's obviously something going wrong with it, but usually it gives you the average word count over here. It will tell you. So what it does is add up all of the top 10 ranking sites and then divide it by 10 to give you an average word count of what you need to go for. More time is going to be around 1500 words for a direct question that someone's asking, and then you will also be able to click SERPs, which is search engine results pages, and it shows you the top 10 sites where you can get a brief look at each of them very quickly. I'm not sure why that's not working. Probably I need to log out and log back in, but for the purpose of this video I'm not going to do that. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, really and truly. I mean, this is a very quick keyword research video, but you don't need to complicate things. Keep it simple. If you see a bunch of forums up there, there's probably a high chance that you could outrank them because it's only a couple of people like Bob from down the road answering a question, or Haley's 665 whatever else answering the question. So you can probably outrank those people. And yeah, just make sure to come in, check it manually. You can see there's a bunch of forums on this. This is a very good keyword to rank for. Do not be deterred away from keywords that's when tools say it's only being searched 10 times a month or something like that. If it's being searched, if it's something that's a common question in your niche, then 110% make sure to rank for it, because this could be a keyword that maybe is getting searched 1,000 times a month and the keyword tools have just not picked up on it yet. Okay, so make sure you go for that. And I hope that helps you. If you did like this video, make sure to leave a like on the video, and if you are new, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.